Hi everyone, Railman28 here, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Wrestling with Railman28. Ring the bell please. Thank you. Now, as I said, welcome back to another podcast. This time we're going to be talking about EWE Requiem at the Bedford in Balham. And of course, before I do that, I want to announce that I'm going to WWE Live on the 4th of November at the O2 Arena. Now, I'm looking forward to that, and I've always wanted to go to a live WWE event since I went to a WWE event virtually online at the Thunderdome during the COVID era, and EWE has boosted my confidence to be getting involved in wrestling, which I will do eventually. And I would like to make a surprise debut for EWE at the Bedford. Now, before all of this, at EWE Aftermath, we all saw what unfolded. Basham, Lewis Basham, the Lord, the EWE Commissioner, came out, announced a series of matches, and of course, being the villain that he is, but I can see something is a bit off. Now, the month before that, he said to us, which one of you is Terry Bartlett? And I said, me, and then he beat it up Arcadius saying it was for me. That really made me mad a little bit. It really did. But then, back then, there was something completely off. I did notice this when I looked back on the event that Basham and Arcadius were fighting. Arcadius, I noticed he was not himself. Really, I just started to notice that he was like all droopy and not feeling well. I could tell he was not feeling well, like he'd been drugged or something. Like someone drugged his water or something. I don't know. But I hope Arcadius is okay. But a month later, Arcadius was fine. He came out to save Buff Broadside after Buff won against Jay in a submission match in Aftermath, and won fair and square. Jay Morgan tapped out. I saw it. Everyone else saw it. Jay Morgan tapped out. And of course, I knew it wasn't going to be easy for Buff, because obviously a hit was put out on him. And Mr. Moore pulled the trigger. He ordered the Entourage to attack Buff Broadside. Obviously, Basham would have done that as well. Made sure if he did win, he'd get a beatdown. And I noticed one of the Entourage, Cuban Heat, did not want to pull the trigger. He did not want to do the concerto on Buff's ankle. But Mr. Moore pushed Cuban Heat out of the way and did it himself. Because I knew that Cuban Heat did not want to do it. Even though he keeps saying, shut up, man. But I know deep down he doesn't really mean that. He was forced to do it. And I feel sorry for him, really. But deep down, I really am glad he got at the TLC match, he got knocked out. But I feel guilty about that as well. But never mind about that. This is here and now. I knew Mr. Moore overstepped his mark. So did Basham. Basham overstepped his mark by ordering Mr. Moore to make it a no count out match, even though he keeps threatening the ref. If he counts him, he gets fired. That's overstepping abuse of power, actually. That's what Arcadius would reckon. Abuse of power. But before all of that, Arcadius came out because I called him. I shouted Arcadius' name for help, and Arcadius came out and helped buff. And then gave Fentos his finishing move, and then Mr. Moore went out of his way to fire Arcadius, and then he said he'd been arrested. But I know that's not entirely true. I can tell, because I saw in a video clip backstage what the events that unfolded. Arcadius came out, saw Cuban Heat clenching his chest, feeling guilty. And I can tell that Cuban Heat did not want to do it. Arcadius knew that too. And he said to Cuban Heat, "Wrong crowd, man. Wrong crowd." Now, I know that Mr. Moore must have ordered for Arcadius to be arrested. And he said he will not be appearing at the next event. Well, we'll see soon see about that, because Mr. Moore loves lying to everyone. I could tell it was a lie. I knew Arcadius wouldn't be arrested, because Arcadius is not that stupid. That's what Mr. Moore thinks Arcadius is. Stupid. If he was stupid enough to attack Fentos and gave him the finishing move, then obviously Mr. Moore would run like a coward to a locker room where Arcadius could catch up with him and of course beat him up. But obviously that didn't happen. I could tell that didn't happen. So I got a funny feeling Arcadius is going to show up at Requiem. That's my gut feeling. And then a couple of weeks later, after that, Basham appears on social media saying, and I quote, "It's come to my attention and EWE owner Charlie Biggs has put a series of stipulations upon me. However," he says, "we're going to let you people decide. Every match at EWE Requiem will have a stipulation apart from mine." He said that. And I know Basham will do whatever he wishes with the stipulations. So I know that Charlie Biggs wanted everyone on social media to have interactions, so that we all got a chance to decide which type of match, which stipulation we would choose for the match. That's the type of trick-or-treat match we'd all have. We vote, which is nice. We all voted. But also, why not the EWE staff members vote? And of course, that will probably happen as well. So, I know Basham would choose a no count out, everything goes match for his tag team match, for his main event. Because he's defending those tag titles with Mr. Alexander Moore. Which I know that he and Mr. Moore have now a heated rivalry, because Mr. Moore thinks that Basham needs to give him the belt, the heavyweight championship belt, but Basham refused. I'm glad Basham refused. That he said, it's not given, it's earned. You have to earn it if you want to have this title shot. And Basham did have a point. He does have a point. So, at EWE Requiem, we have a series of matches that the votes have been counted in. We have the EWE Light Heavyweight Championship on the line. Yaya's defending it against Ricardo Borg. And it's going to be a pumpkin on a pole match for a grudge match against Don Fury, Theodore Powers, and Don Fury will face each other in a Wetfloor sign match. That's good. And of course we got a woman returning to EWE after a long while. We got Claudio against Fentos. And I hope Claudio wins this match. Literally. And it's going to be... I don't know what type of match it's going to be, but There you go. I'm looking forward to the match either way. It's probably an over-the-top rope match. That means if whoever gets thrown over the top rope loses the match. But what if it was the other way around? Whoever goes over the top rope first, lands on the ground, wins the match. That's a twist I'd love to see in EWE. Now, we turn to a hoss fight with Atlas versus Razor. Or, in a casket match. Now, that is a first. A casket match is a good match. That'll be a good match for Halloween. And, yeah. I'm looking forward to these matches already, actually. And we got Leapfrog versus Fabiano and Romano, one of the Entourage. In a, wait for it, a Kendo stick match. Whoa, that's a good one. That'll be a painful one. Kendo sticks. Love to see that. Looking forward to that, actually. And that's it so far. As far as I know, anyway. And I like to thank Lewis Basham for that, but his main event, I love to see. I'm going to see that, even though I've got a shirt that I ordered from EWE, and it would be a 4XL with red lettering, which I'm looking forward to. A black shirt with red lettering, because, well, why not? The monsters are coming. It's Halloween. And we got to respect the fact it's Halloween. But we shall wait and see what unfolds at the event. Because blood will be spilt at this event. I guarantee it. And I know Basham or Moore will turn on each other. I know it's going to blow up soon. It's going to crack open. And I know that during the main event, well, actually, I'm not going to spoil everything, but I'm going to tell this story to EWE. Maybe that will see what unfolds. And I'm going to send that story. I might as well tell it on here. Those who don't want spoilers, wait until part of the story is finished and stop it. Then you would know. If those who want to know what the spoiler is, well, continue listening. So, thank you all for tuning in to Wrestling with Railman28 podcast for EWE Requiem. So don't forget, I'm guessing the tickets might have sold out by now, but if you're interested, come to the Bedford in Balham and pay £15 on the door. That's what it is. But if you go and buy a drink, you have to have it in a beaker, not in glass, because that is dangerous. So, hope you all enjoy the night. I'll see you all at the Bedford in Balham. Enjoy this Halloween story, guys. It's called The Curse of the EWE Tag Title Belt. And it mentions me, Terry Bartlett, having a heated rivalry with Lewis Basham. Of course. Me being Terry the Steam Train, actually. Which I'm going to be called when I enter EWE. So we'll have to wait and see until I enter, surprisingly. Have a nice time, guys. And don't go messing with the dark side on Halloween. You've been warned. Peace out, guys. Ring the bell, please. Thank you. And also, I hope to ref Ricardo Borg's match. Well, I hope to ref Ricardo Borg and Yaya's match, because I'll have to be a special referee for that match. So that way they both have someone they both know to ref their match for them, to call the match down the middle. Okay? Enjoy the story, guys. Here goes. Once upon a time, there lived a wrestler named Lewis Basham, who was a competitor for a long while, who claimed he was undefeated in Elite Wrestling Entertainment UK at the Bedford in Balham. But his claim was not entirely true. It all started when his former tag team partner, Theodore Powers, was beaten up in the ring by not one, not two, but 3 women. 2 of them are wrestlers, One of them was a referee. Theodore Powers was acting inappropriately towards them. He said they belong in kitchens rather than a ring, but they had enough of him and teamed to take him out. The ref joined in as she was a wrestler herself. Basham was having none of it and picked on the female referee. A month later, EWE had another event set up, and Lewis Basham forced the female referee to sign a contract. Then a female wrestler came out to the ring when all hell broke loose, and Basham started to wrestle her, making sure she couldn't win, by slamming her arms against the posts and possibly her legs as well. But she won against the law, Lewis Basham, by roll-up and pinfall, as I witnessed it anyway. And a few years later, Basham took on Buff Broadside for EWE commissionership and won. As time went on, the law was bringing law and order to the company, and employed his client, William Hudson Alexander Moore, who is now general manager for EWE. Now Moore, thinking he could get given the EWE Heavyweight Championship, and said, "Lewis Basham, give me my belt." But Moore was wrong, as Basham refused. Then the law said, "Be very careful. Do not overstep your mark. If you want this title belt, the heavyweight championship of mine, you have to earn it. It's not given, it's earned." They are both tag team champions, and Basham is the EWE heavyweight champion after beating Arcadius by distraction and pinfall. During the event aftermath, Basham had to defend his title against a man worth facing, the Wolf of Ball Street, Alexander Roth. Mr. Moore went too far and cost Roth the title and got a rock bottom out of it. But during the match, while Basham ordered Moore to make it a no count out match, the fight was taken upstairs, leaving the tag title belt exposed to a fan, Terry Bartlett, who on social media, he and Basham have a heated rivalry. So Terry gave the title belt a kiss and a rub, planting a curse on the belt. Now the belt was cursed. Whenever Basham wears the belt on his waist or on his shoulders, he will suffer one misfortune after another, and will turn on the people who he helped gain gold. At Requiem, spoilers guys, remember, those who don't want to hear spoilers, please do not listen and stop the video if you want to see what unfolds at Requiem. Thank you for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Ring the bell please, one more time. Thank you. Visit designmynight.com if you want to see it up, but after Requiem guys, go to designmynight.com to book your tickets for the next show for November. Thank you, and stay safe out there, and beware, there are monsters out there for Halloween, and don't say I didn't warn you.